Well, what's it just been like being a part of this program?
Honestly, I love it. I think, we've had maybe some setbacks in the lineup. We've had, a few guys get hurt, a little banged up, but I think it's awesome. I think we're coming together, and I think we're going to peak at the right time. So I'm excited for that. Excited to be a part of it.
A lot of injuries this year, and Dresser had mentioned this is not the lineup he thought that you would have at this time in the season. What's it kind of been like navigating some of that?
Yeah, I mean, we got, our lineup, the first duel versus Stanford was like way different than it is now, But fortunately, we got some hitters, We got all over the lineup. We got guys that are willing to step in and get wins. So I don't even know the lineup they're going to be taking to Virginia and West Virginia, but I know that, the guys that I've seen in the lineup have done good and they've stepped up to the occasion. So I'm all there for it.
How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I feel good. Halfway through season, you feel a little, maybe a little banged up, a little sore. But you know what? I've been doing this for a while, so I'm used to it, and I'll be able to perform no matter what. So,
Do you feel like you wrestled the way you've wanted to mostly? I mean, obviously you look at, whatever the results are, but you feel like just within just how you've gone about your business, you've kind of done what you wanted to this point?
I think I've done pretty good so far. Obviously, I'm still, trying to incorporate some things in my wrestling that are really I feel like coaches feel like as well, they're going to bump me up to the next level, on the podium where I want to be. But I think I have wrestled pretty good. I was a little banged up. I missed the Humboldt duel versus North Dakota State. And then when I came back, it took me a little bit to get back into the swing of things, but, I stayed composed and got the job done. So,
what are some of those things you're trying to add in, or do you want to let anybody know?
Oh, it's just like, it's just details, like little things in my wrestling that are, when you're at a high level, it's the little things that make you make big jumps. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah.
Gotcha.
What's the energy been like around the whole team as you were asked, navigating those injuries, but what's overall morale as you guys just kind of see what's up next?
Like in regards to like the injuries and stuff?
Yeah, just navigating that stuff and just the normal things of a season.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, in the beginning, when people started dropping like flies kind of almost, morale kind of got low for a second. I won't lie to you. It's, seeing our guys get hurt and banged up, they're out for the season, they're out for the year, like it sucks to see. But I think after this past training cycle that we've had between, the holidays, we've been working real hard, and it's cool to watch some of the guys that are going to get a shot coming into this next half of season. Mm-hmm. So I think morale's high. Morale's high now.
What's it kind of like seeing some of the younger guys like Daniel and some of those guys
I think,
up?
Well, I know Peanut's probably going to be wrestling for us in Virginia, and I think that kid's a stud. I think he's a good wrestler, and he's young, and he was thinking about maybe redshirting. Doesn't look like he's going to redshirt anymore, but I mean, honestly, that's fine. He can compete with, from what I've seen, he can compete with, everybody that I've seen he can compete with. So he's a good wrestler, and he's going to do good for us.
How do you like wrestling a little bit lighter, 184?
Well, I'll tell you, they feel a lot smaller. They feel a lot smaller for sure. It's it's kind of weird how like you go down a weight class or you jump up a weight class, and the wrestling's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Like they might not be strong, but they are probably faster, and they wrestle a little bit. Their hands move a little bit differently. At 97, they're a little more slower and powerful. But I like being down at 84. I feel good, so our gas tank feels great.
Have you ever been part, because it seems like when injuries always hit wrestlers because of how you guys train, how you guys compete, but it seems like when they hit teams, they come in bunches like they did this year.
Yeah, you're actually right.
Have you ever experienced that, like even back in high school, where it's like, man, for some reason it starts happening, and then you start to think, oh my God, am I next?
Yeah. You know what? In high school, I felt like I was bulletproof. I never got hurt in high school, right? But when I got to college, I had my own medical year. I've been a part of a couple different teams, and I'll tell you, it happens with all the teams.
Yeah.
Sometimes people wonder, man, what's going on with our training?
Yeah.
From my experience, everywhere I've been, it happens. So I don't know. It's just something that you gotta navigate when it comes, I guess.
You mentioned going hunting a lot. Is there anything you translate from hunting into wrestling?
I don't know. Got to be tough. You got to sit out in the cold. Gotta push through it when it sucks. I don't know. That's a good question.
Sometimes you don't get what you want, right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
might go out
Sometimes
that
you don't get
nose
what
and
you
hang,
want.
don't even see it.
Yeah, gonna have to keep coming. So.
You only have a few months left of your wrestling career. Have you started to think about that at all? I mean, how excited are you for this? I mean, second half, I guess, if we want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think about it, like I've been wrestling my whole life. I've been competing my whole life, and I'm coming up on my last national tournament. After that, most likely, my wrestling career might be over, and, it's to me, it's sad, because I love wrestling. I love competing, scrapping, all that stuff. Honestly, I try not to really, when it comes, it comes. I just try to think about getting better at wrestling and scoring more points. And, if it comes, the end of the year comes, and, what may, it is what it is. I don't know. I try not to think about it too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get all caught up in your head and stuff. So
I've talked to guys who have different points of view when the end of their careers are coming. Some of them are like, great, I don't have to do this anymore. It's been really hard, but I'm happy I did it.
Yeah.
And some are like, I got to find a way to do something, coaching, blah blah blah. Where do you fall in that spectrum?
I'm sure. I'm definitely not looking forward to that. Like I said, I love competing. I've been doing it my whole life. I don't do much else. I'm sure it will be emotional. When my time's done. But I got to figure out something. I got to move on, right? So that's life. But yeah, it'll be probably bittersweet. So.
How exciting has the journey been being on this team with Coach Dresser and the other guys?
It's super exciting, man. I think what's funny is last year I remember watching like the Cyhawk duel, or watching. Actually, I was watching Iowa State compete, and I was thinking to myself, man, how cool it'd be to compete in an atmosphere like that, where the big crowds, big programs, stuff like that. And I didn't even know at the time, but now I'm super blessed. I'm super fortunate to get a chance to be here. So I'm loving it. This is this is a great chance for me. Coming from where I came from. Not a lot of kids get the opportunity to compete and make it to like a bigger program. So I'm grateful for it.
Was that a goal you've had since you were a lot younger, just to get up to this level?
You know what, man? Coming out of high school, I didn't even know. I went to a few tournaments, All-American a couple times, but I didn't even know if I could wrestle D1. I just went to a school. I was like, well, we'll see how I do. And, coming from Alaska, a lot of guys, for whatever reason, maybe it's a lack of competition or just lack of, you're isolated. There's good athletes, but it's it's hard to make it. It's to make it to the next level. So I was fortunate. I just worked really hard. I would, like Dresser's. Dresser will tell me sometimes I'm tough and I work hard. That's probably my best attribute. So I was fortunate.
Is it a lot colder here, or is it colder up there?
You know what? Probably right now it's probably about the same. I'd say. Yeah, but more snow. Definitely more snow. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what was the journey like coming from Alaska down to Iowa?
The journey?
Or the traveling down, the difference in maybe the cultures and stuff like that?
You know what? You'd be surprised. The culture here in Iowa is a lot more similar, you'd think, to Alaska. Just a lot of not so much agriculture and stuff, but just outdoorsy people, honestly. They like to get outside and do stuff. Super down to earth, I love it. It's a lot more similar than you think.
Very cool.